So there are people here. So it's Friday, June 14th, I think. 14th or 15th, 14th, I think. 2023. How about this? Boy, this is pretty. This is, so I'm down in the Beaverhead range. This is the Twin Lakes in the Beaverhead range. I'm southwest of Wisdom. I've wanted to fish this lake for a few years. This is the first time I've ever been in here. I brought the Jetta up here. I kind of wish I would have brought the Jeep, but the Jetta made it. There are some people here. Beautiful campground here. Wow, nice campground here. Pretty remote in here. This is the upper lake. There's also a cabin that you can rent from the Forest Service. But, wow. Gosh, it's pretty up here. So I've wanted to fish these lakes. This is the upper lake. There's a lower lake. They're connected. There's a little channel between them. They're essentially one lake. So besides it being real pretty and a mountain lake, so this lake, they stock it with West Slope cutthroats every year, and it's like, I don't know, 4,000 or 8,000 fish. There's also non-native brook trout in here. And then the other thing that's unique about this lake is it is one of two lakes in Montana that have native lake trout. So lake trout are normally found in the Midwest and upper Midwest, but there are two isolated populations that are native to Montana. This lake has one of those populations. The other one is in the Gravellies or the Centennial Range, called Elk Lake. So if I catch a lake trout here, which I'm not really trying to fish for, I have to release it immediately, although I release just about everything I catch. But I came up here to catch the West Slope, so I got the tube with me. Wow, pretty. Wow. Took me a while to get here though, 5.5 hours. Well, I've been in the water, I don't know, an hour, maybe more, hour and 15 minutes. And it seems to be the theme in Montana, no matter where I've fished in lakes, the fishing is just, it's bad. And I don't know, the only thing I can think of, this is the southwest part of the state, a high mountain lake. And, yeah, it's not very good up here, and I expected a lot better. There's definitely fish in here. It's just, it very well could be the unstable weather we've had, and it just hasn't been stable enough between storm systems and fronts for the fish to settle down. The water temperature is pretty cold up here. It's 47, 48 degrees, and I'm fishing a couple of chironomids under a strike indicator. I haven't had a hit. I'm in the upper lake, and the other thing that's interesting about all this is there's midges all over the water. I mean, so there's midges hatching. They're all around me. I can see the shucks and stuff. And they're similar in size to what I'm throwing. And wow, just not seeing fish go after, not seeing any rises. In these lakes, it's always a concern when you don't see rises. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep fishing and move around and see if I can find fish. And I think the very last, I'm gonna go to the lower lake, I think, which is right over here, and see if that changes anything. And then the thing I'm going to finally do, the very last thing, is, since I do have my fish finder, I'm fishing in about 9 to 12 feet of water, which is where I figured they would be, and nothing. So one of the things that I will do before I leave is I'll get out into about 15 to 20 feet of water and see if I'm picking up fish on the sonar. But really slow. There are bugs on the water. It's crazy crazy slow, but it's been that way every lake I've fished. Yeah, so more utter disbelief on what's going on here. You know, there's all kinds of bugs in the water. I'm seeing them emerge and fly off. I haven't seen one fish rise since I have been here, and that is very, very unusual. These midges, these emergers that are all over the water, they're 12 to 14, which is a perfect match for what I'm throwing. I should be picking fish up on the chromie, and I'm not. If they're taking the nymphs, you would think I would be picking them up on the chromie, which is kind of a silver and red, and I'm not. You would also think you would see fish sipping off the surface, and they're not. Something has put these fish down, and that's, yeah, when that happens, when you have, you know, I'm assuming this lake is deep enough, it shouldn't winter kill, and it should be full of fish, but what can happen is you get these fronts in here, and the barometric pressure drops, and then it's come up in the last day, and when it's dropping, the fishing can be actually pretty good. But when it bottoms out, gets low, the fishing, you know, trout and stillwaters, they basically don't want to feed. And then when the barometric pressure is rising, they don't want to feed. They want stable, high barometric pressure. And at least that's the theory, because of their swim bladders. Different than bass, but it's crazy. And this is a classic. I didn't expect to see this up here this high, though. I figured the fish, because of the shorter season up here, it would be more opportunistic. You know, I don't know, this is like 7,500 feet. So I figured the fish would be more opportunistic, but no, I'm not seeing it. It's crazy. There should be fish rising, should be taking the pupa as they're coming up, but I'm not seeing any of that. Well, what do you know? I've been in the water a lot, and I finally have hooked a fish. So I'm in the lower lake here, and now I can't get my net. I finally found some rising fish, and what I ended up doing is I ended up switching to a sink tip and a sink tip line, and I just got done switching over, and I was kind of trolling here, and have hooked a fish, and he feels like a pretty decent one. It's been tough. Uh-oh, he's running. So I don't know what this is. This may be a brookie, or it could be a lake trout. I don't know. It looks dark, so it doesn't. I don't know what it is, but he's strong. He doesn't want to come in, huh? with a little bit of luck, I won't lose him. Wow. This is a tough fish. This might be a lake trout. If it is, it's the first, not only would it be the first lake trout I've ever caught, but it'd be my first, yeah, it might be my first lake trout on anything. I've never caught a lake trout before. I don't know if that's what it is. The size feels right. But I wouldn't. All right, let's see if I can get him in here. So this is a brook trout. Kind of a nice brook trout for this lake. It's kind of hooked in the fin, which isn't good. There we go. That's easy enough. About 11 inches, 11 to 12 inches. Little brook trout. Little brook trout. Back you go. Well, I'm about to get out of the water. It's 3:30. I only caught the one brook trout. I missed another, and it's really been pretty slow. The only fish I saw, there's a couple other people that were fishing, but the only fish I saw caught was the one I caught. Pretty slow up here. Don't know why. But what I ended up doing is switching to a sink tip. Basically, it's actually a floating fly line with a versaleader on it, an intermediate versaleader tip on it, and I was fishing a Denny's olive peacock calabatus nymph on the point, and then a Denny's AP emerger above that, and I caught the one brook trout. Basically, they were keying in on the hatching midges, and I was able to, with the sink tip, with the intermediate sink tip, I was able to keep the fly up in the top foot of the water and get a couple of grabs. So I didn't get skunked, but I was really hoping for a better day up here. Beautiful place. Fishing's terrible, but like I said, it's probably not just here. It's been, ever since I've been home, the fishing's been slow. The weather just has not been stable. So anyway, beautiful day up here. Kind of cold. It's only about 60 degrees. Wind's blowing. So I'm a little on the chilly side. So that's about it. That's a wrap.